الدرس التاسع, lesson 9, Al-Ju'u, hunger. And this is the passage from the lesson hunger, and it talks about the difference in which how people see hunger and the way in which the rich people or the people who have 3 meals a day, the way they express when they don't get food. So the heading is Akadu Amutu Ju'an. I'm about to die of hunger. So Akadu is I'm about to, Amutu, die, Ju'an, hunger. كثيرا ما قلت يا سيدي وقد أبطأ غداؤك أو تأخر عشاؤك أكاد أموت جوعا. You have often said, sir, when your lunch has been delayed or your dinner is late, I'm about to die of hunger. So the passage begins by a common statement people say, like when you're hungry, like when lunch is delayed or when someone's food is late, they often say this sentence, like they say, I'm about to die of hunger. So kathiran is often, ma qulta, you have said, ya sayyidi, sir, and this is not referring to any specific person, it's just a general statement that people say. So he says, ya sayyidi, abta'a, delayed, ghada'uka, your lunch, aw, or ta'akhara, late, asha'uka, your dinner. So which means your dinner is late. You say akadu, I am about to, amutu, die, ju'an, hunger. بل كثيرا ما قلت يا سيدتي وقد عدت من زيارة لصديقتك أو رجعت من نزهة شحذ هواؤها معدتك أموت جوعا وقاكم الله ذلك. So rather you have often said, ma'am, when you have returned from meeting your friend or returned from an outing, when the air sharpens your stomach, I will die of hunger. May God protect you from that. So this is again another statement that people say, I will die of hunger. So before it's said as sir and now it's saying as ma'am. So this is just to refer to what people generally say, whether it's a person, a guy or a lady. Generally people say these statements. I'm about to die of hunger, or I'm dying of hunger. So here bal is rather often, kathiran, often, ma qulti, you have said, ya sayyidati, ma'am, udti min, you have returned from ziyara, visiting, li sadiqatiki, your friend, aw raja'ti min, or you returned from nuzha, an outing, and shahada means sharpens, hawa'uha, its air, ma'idataki, your stomach, amutu, I will die of ju'an, hunger, waqakumullah, may God protect you, dhalik, from that. قلتم وتقولون مثل هذا القول يا سادة. You have said before and you continue to say statements like this, O gentlemen. So قلتم is you have said, وتقولون, and you say, which is you continue to say, مثل هذا القول, statements like this, يا سادة, O gentlemen. وإن هو إلا من قبيل المجاز, and it is only as a metaphor. When people say these statements, they don't literally mean it, they say it as a metaphor to show the level of hunger that they're feeling. So وَإِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا means, and it is only من قبيل المجاز, as a metaphor. فإن موتنا جوعا في مثل هذه الأحوال التي ذكرت ليس إلا كناية عن توافر الشهية للطعام والشراب وزيادة قابلية المعدة للتلذذ بشهي المأكولات. Then our death from hunger in these circumstances which I have mentioned is nothing but a metaphor for the availability of appetite for food and drink and the increased capability of the stomach to enjoy delicious food items. So when we generally say these statements that I'm about to die of hunger, we are using it as a figure of speech, as an expression to show the amount of hunger that we have, the amount of appetite we have, probably because the time that we generally eat is passed by a few minutes or hours. So فَإِنَّ مَوْتَنَا جُوعًا, then our death from hunger. في مثل هذه الأحوال, in these circumstances, الذي ذكرت, which I have mentioned, ليس إلا كناية. It is not just a kinaya, which is a metaphor, عن توافر الشهية, for the availability of appetite, للطعام والشراب, for food and drink, وزيادة قابلية المعدة, increased capability of the stomach, للتلذذ به, to enjoy شهي المأكولات, delicious food items. وكان أحد الأغنياء عائدا في موعد العشاء إلى منزله حيث كانت تنتظره المآكل الطيبة. Now they are saying another scenario. One of the rich people was returning home for dinner, where good food was waiting for him. So this is a rich man. He's coming home, and then there's good food prepared for him. So here كان أحد الأغنياء means one of the rich people. He was عائدا, returning في موعد العشاء, for dinner, إلى منزله, home, حيث, where كانت تنتظره, was waiting for him, المآكل الطيبة, and that is good food. ولم يكن على شيء من الشهية بعد ما أصاب في الغداء من المأكل والمشرب. He didn't have any appetite after eating and drinking for lunch. So he probably ate for lunch a lot, or he ate it a bit late. Nonetheless, he did not have the appetite for dinner. لم يكن على means he didn't have. شيء من الشهية means any appetite. بعد, after. ما أصاب من المأكل والمشرب, eating and drinking, في الغداء, for lunch. فاعترضه فقير يطلب الإحسان قائلا أنا جائع يا سيدي. So a poor person approached him asking for charity, saying, I am hungry, sir. So a poor man came to him and asking for money, said, or something to eat, said, I am hungry. So اعترضه means approached him, فقير, a poor person. يطلب الإحسان, asking for charity, قائلا, saying, أنا جائع, I am hungry, and يا سيدي, sir. فهز الغني كتفيه. The rich man shrugged his shoulders. This is a form of dissatisfaction or being annoyed. And he said, وقال في نفسه, and he said to himself, قاتله الله, may God curse him. This is like a form of like an abuse or something, like saying something bad to someone when you're frustrated. قاتله الله يشعر بالجوع ويشكو, and he said he feels hungry and complains. So here the rich man is really frustrated with this poor man coming and asking for something very basic as food to eat. So although this man, this rich man, he's coming from eating lunch and he doesn't have the appetite to eat dinner. So at least the least he could do is give him the dinner. But even he doesn't do that. He curses this man, or he gets angry at him just for asking for some food, and he says he's feeling hungry and complaining. So this is to just show the state of people when it comes to food. Although they have enough, they look down upon people who don't have. Hazza is shrugged, al-ghaniyu, the rich man, katifayhi, his shoulders, qala, he said, fi nafsihi, to himself, qatalahu Allah, may God curse him, yash'uru bil-ju'i, he feels hungry, yashku, complains. هكذا أكثرنا يفهم الجوع. This is how most of us understand hunger. أعني الجوع في طوره الأول. I mean hunger in its first stage. حين لا يتعدى الحاجة لتناول الطعام. When it does not go beyond the need to eat food. So this is how people understand hunger, which means that when the hunger is in its first stage, as hunger can be classified in different stages, the first part being getting really hungry, and then it can go to starvation, and then even to the point of death, as there are different stages to hunger. So even people, when they feel hungry in the first stage, when they just don't get that food for a while, they complain and they say these sort of things. Hakada means this is how. Aktharuna, most of us, yafhamu, understand, al-ju', hunger. A'ni, I mean, al-ju' min tawri al-awwal, or fi tawri al-awwal, hunger in its first stage. حين لا يتعدى, when it does not go beyond الحاجة لي, the need to تناول الطعام, eat food. أو عندما تطول هذه الحاجة ولا نلبي شهيتنا, or when this need goes on for a long time and we do not respond to our appetite. أو عندما is, or when تطول هذه الحاجة, this need goes for a long time, ولا نلبي, and we do not respond to شهيتنا, our appetite. فنشعر بعض انزعاج, فيقول الواحد منا على سبيل المزاح غنت عصافير بطني, and we feel some discomfort. Then one of us say as a joke, the birds in my belly have sung. And again, this is referring to the hunger that he's feeling. نشعر به is we feel بعض انزعاج, and انزعاج is discomfort or disturbance, and بعض some. And فيقول الواحد منا, then one of us says على سبيل المزاح, as a joke. غنت is have sung عصافير بطني, the birds in my belly. أما في الواقع فمن منكم يدري ما الجوع في معناه الحقيقي. But in reality, who among you knows what hunger is in its true meaning? So أما في الواقع means, but in reality, فمن منكم يدري, who amongst you or who among you knows ما الجوع, what hunger is في معناه الحقيقي, in its true meaning. من يعرف الجوع الذي يمزق الأعماء تمزيقا. Who among you knows the hunger that tears up intestines into pieces? كلكم يجهله وعسى ألا تعرفوا إلا اسما. All of you are ignorant of it and perhaps you don't know it except by name. So here the author is speaking about the real hunger that people go through, and he compares it to the intestines tearing into pieces. You would feel like that sort of hunger. And the author says that all of you are ignorant of it. Like none of you have gone through that actually, because most people, they have the ability to eat 3 times a meal and they don't go through this hunger, the hunger that reaches the point of starvation. So man ya'rifu, who among you knows al-ju', the hunger, alladhi, that yumazziqu tamziqan, tears up into pieces, al-a'ma, which is intestines. Kullukum yajhaluhu, all of you are ignorant of it. Asa alla tarifuhu, perhaps you don't know it. Illa isman, except by name. So in this passage, the author draws a comparison between the hunger that people feel, and most people, they feel hunger in its early stage, the first stage, yet they complain, even though they have not felt the deep hunger, like the author mentions here, the hunger that tears up intestines. And yet, when a lot of people, when they see people who are hungry, poor people who do not have the means to eat a meal, they don't show compassion, or they don't show any mercy. Rather, they curse them or say or look down upon them or say bad things to them.